My name's David Spiesman, and I'm going to make some hard cider. Now, I know I made a video a few years ago, and in this one, when I'm making it, I'll just talk a little bit about history. And of course, you need the recipe and instructions, which you get from the website. It's free all the time, so I do share that. And you need airlock with water in it. It's just water. And this cap comes off and you put water in there, and a rubber stopper, real rubber. This is made in America. Yeah. And a packet of Red Star Champagne Pasteur yeast, and you use a teaspoon in my recipe. And if you read the back, it says this is good for 5 gallons. But I want to make sure it comes out all the time. You can divide it up, make it last longer, but there's enough there for 2 gallons following my recipe and instructions. So you need, this holds about 1 gallon of liquid, and you need that, and you heat it up, and I heat it up with 1/2 gallon, and I'm using Old Orchard wild cherry to make this juice. It's going to be my hard cider. And just pour that in there. And I've made this before, wild cherry. Ooh, it's good. You don't have to use apple, see? Any fruit juice will work. Except for a cranberry or a citric, like an orange or grapefruit. Because it seems to kill the yeast. The yeast can't make hard cider alcohol with it. And I like, my favorite, the recipe says 0 to 4 cups sugar. So I'm going to put 2 cups there, another 2 cups. So I like 4 cups of sugar. That way it comes out with good alcohol content and gives you a kick. And also sweet. I like sweet, but not too sweet. But you could make, use grape juice. But if you use grape juice, really don't need to go over 2 cups, because then it comes out super sweet, like candy sweet, or like cough syrup sweet. So I just stir and I heat this up to baby bottle temperature. Now, this is an original American drink that was almost lost from Prohibition. And settlers brought this over here to our country, because this is what the nice poor people could afford to make. And it was quick, see? And they drank more hard cider than they did water. Yeah, because the water was kind of contaminated back then until they got the, systems in. And so I read somewhere like 34 gallons per person in a year they drink hard cider. Now, I don't drink that much. I mean, my 1 gallon here lasts me a whole year. That's apple. That's also, a major thing you need is glass jug. And I have it available at the website, but I say I'm sold out of it, because I am, because I can't find it cheaper than what you can find in the grocery store. Because, this jug came with apple juice in it for $7, $8 at the grocery store. And I was able to use, it was organic apple juice on top of it. Completely pure, nice. That's what this is. Hard cider. I made that. So, and this jug here, that's a wine jug. Wine came in that one. I drank the wine and used the jug, glass jug. And that rubber stopper fits fine in there. Until I can find them cheap enough, then I'll have them back again on the website to offer for you to purchase. Because right now it's $10, it's the cheapest I can find. $10 for a jug because I just buy in bulk and then pass savings on to you. And then another 10 to ship it. That's $20 compared to $7, $8. Yeah, okay. I mean, I want you, that really just hurt my little business, you know, because I really appreciate the support, you know, when you buy the airlock, rubber stopper, and the yeast from me. And I found the best quality and the cheapest price I can find, so then I can buy in bulk and then pass savings on to you, you know. Let me just check this with my finger. So I always check my kids, yeah, not even close yet. I just want to make sure it doesn't get too hot. So, but, you know, the settlers planted all the fruit trees here, and then they were making hard cider, and even like John Adams would have a glass every morning, and he contributed to his long health. And Thomas Jefferson had a whole orchard, fruit orchard. He was always, you know, doing different hard ciders. But you know, if you get fresh fruit instead of buying it, you know, in the grocery store, the juice, then you have to pasteurize it. Now that kills off any, you know, bad yeast. So it's not contradicting with this good yeast right there. So you get your batches that come out all the time, every time, almost guaranteed. So as long as you use the airlock, you know, keep water in it, and rubber stopper, and this yeast, then it'll work. I've had some people, they went and used my recipe. They put a balloon on top, hit it in a dark spot, which is, you don't need to do that. Put it in a sunny window. They hit it in a dark spot, balloon came off, and then they tasted it, and it didn't taste too good. Your recipe doesn't work. This is not my recipe, guy. You get to follow the instructions, and, you know, use the airlock and the right yeast, and then it'll come out. So anyway, back to the settlers. You know, and then you had Thomas Jefferson, of course, which I thought that was pretty cool. You know, and then all the farmers in the country had basically orchards, and they even went the next step, which is to make a still. And it was legal back then. And then even Henry Ford, he had a switch in his automobiles. You could run it on gasoline or switch it and run on alcohol for the farmers, because there was more farmers than gas stations at that time. So then Prohibition came along and put an end to it all, fortunately. And of course, you know, as people moved west, and orchards, you know, weren't very easy to grow, fruit trees. So transportation, of course, wasn't very good then at that time. Yeah, it's getting warm. It's getting there. So, but then, you know, with Prohibition, then we had to wait till Jimmy Carter came along, President Jimmy Carter, and he made this legal, home brew in your home for, you know, hard cider and beer, of course. And most of the kits you see are from kind of a beer mentality, and they all have you brewing in plastic, which is okay for beer because that's low alcohol content. Now high alcohol content like this is, yeah, it erode, you know, dissolve some of that plastic, and you'll get toxins in you, and, you know, maybe 20 years late from now you'll, you know, get very sick. We don't want that. So please, brew in glass, or, you know, in the old time they had clay, you know, those ceramic jugs, you know, that's what they used to brew in. Well, I like to see what's going on. In the glass you can do that, and of course when you clean it, you know when you got it clean. That's got some water in it yet, but when I cleaned it, take that out. Yeah, Jimmy Carter made it legal again. Unreal. So now you can, you know, have a still, and you can make the alcohol with this, which just turns into a brandy then if it's drinkable, but you aren't allowed to make it to drink. Okay, I think that's about there. That's good. Baby bottle temperature. Need funnel, and I'm going to use my measuring cup and kind of hold it over here so I don't lose any of my nice juice. Pour it in. Yeah, back to the licensing. You can get a permit to make fuel. So, but you kind of hard to make good production for fuel. You don't have a right setup for it. So, but I am someday, hopefully, we'll get a permit to bottle and sell cider up, hard cider. But I'm always going to sell the kits. The recipe's always going to be available. A lot of the kits I was researching online, they want $50 on up for them, and they're giving you, I guess, just a concentrate apple juice, and they're having you brew in plastic. It just grates on my nerves. It really does. And why they're charging so much, I just can't get over that part. And I get down so far, and then I can hold it. Not too hard. Pour in. Like that. Get every drop. Yeah. Okay. Turn this off. Now, I'll take this other half gallon wild cherry and I'll pour it up about 3/4. It's cold, yeah, I know, but that way I didn't have to heat up too much. And this, if I did get a little too hot, this will cool her down a little bit. Because if you do get too hot, you just let her sit before you put the yeast in, because you don't want to kill your yeast. Yeah, that's pretty good. Set this there. See, this has 100% fruit juice from apple juice, pear juice, Mona berry juice, cherry juice, grape juice, fruit juice concentrates, citric acid, which is an acid like in your citric fruits, but it's not enough to kill this yeast, so you're in good shape. The natural flavors, which I don't care for, but it's at the bottom of the list. So that's usually something you don't know about and they don't want to tell you. Make flavorings. So here's your packet of yeast. And I just snip her with little scissors. Take my funnel out. Now I'm just going to get me a teaspoon or less. There's 2 teaspoons in there. Pour it in there. And save this in the fridge. Always keep this in the fridge. It'll last a long time. See, and this is good to 2015, what I'm mailing out right now. In 2013 is when I'm making this. So, and you put your lid. Always save your lid from your apple juice that you bought or your wine. And then you shake her up really good. There you go. That lid. Okay, and take the lid off. Remember, I took this cap off. I already got water in there. You know, it might be more water on this side than that side. Don't worry about it, just so there's water in there. Okay, and you put it in rubber stopper. Okay, now that it's all ready to go. And keep this dry when you put it in your jug, because then it won't want to pop out. Then take my funnel back here and fill this up as far as I can go, you know, within reason, because that's less air that's in there. Less air is good. That means you'll lose less alcohol and evaporation. Okay, that's it. It's filled up. Now I'm going to put my airlock and rubber stopper on, just like that. And it wants to push up. And it wants to push up because it's wet. I think the neck is wet inside. So this is easily dry it off like this. See? Now, maybe I have success. I did. It's in there now. And I just want to make sure there's water in there. I can always take this off, you know, clean it. If it gets all the, you know, kind of bubbles erratically in it. And since I filled it up so nice, you know, a lot of those bubbles will just continue up in here, and I'll get cherry juice in my airlock, you know, and it'll look all dirty and stuff. But you can take it off and rinse it, you know. Just keep your cap on loosely so you don't lose too much of your nice alcohol that you're producing. Okay, now I'm on there. Well, it was all wet again. Sorry. We do this like this. Okay, very simple. Might have to make that a little drier yet. Don't know. Anyway, now she'll take off. And in about 4 weeks, maybe. The gauge is when the bubble slows. This is what I found. Now, you might use some other gauging purpose, but this is what I found. When that bubble slows to about 1 coming out a minute, then it's ready. You can start drinking it. So what happens is the yeast starts eating the sugar, and they've got 4 cups of sugar in there to eat, plus the natural fruit juice sugar. Okay, and it converts it into alcohol, and then it gives off a carbon dioxide gas. That's your bubbles that come up constantly, always percolating like. And that's your bubble that gives you your gauge. When it slows to 1 a minute, and it's ready to start drinking. And I just leave it right in the jug and, you know, keep drinking it like that. If I put it in the fridge, then I'll put the cap on loosely, because it could still be, it's still active. I'm not one to rack it off and do extra steps to it. I just enjoy it just like this, you know, just drinking it out of the jug. And then the sediment at the bottom, that's all full of nutrients and vitamins. And it's good for you. It's not bad for you, it's harmful at all. So, now the other thing is, on the website is a nice label for free. Yeah, my son did that nice logo for Cider Up. Pretty nice. And just write who you are, and so you know, maybe 5 years from now, well, who made that in our family? You know, the date that you put on, and the fruit juice. And then I just glue it on there. Now, if you don't have a printer, of course, you can always just take the label off of your juice carefully and tape it on, and then write with a little masking tape, you know, your date and what you did. I mean, you don't have to do that, but it's kind of nice because you always want to know. Okay, well, I hope that showed you little bit about how to make hard cider, a little bit of history, and tried to answer some of the questions, you know, I get in emails once in a while. So, okay, this isn't taped on, so I'll just set it down so it doesn't look funny. Okay, I'll do that later. All right, so hopefully this video is of some really good use to you. And here's my little advertisement, because I really, you know, appreciate your support by buying a kit. Go to ciderup.com. Okay, thank you very much. Bye now.